All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like the NASDAQ down about 1% this morning. Yesterday was a pretty decent day, at least here on the futures. I'm noticing quite a difference, though, between the futures and IBD these days. And the volume on the IBD, they said, was not very healthy, so we'll have to see how that plays itself out here in the future. But gapping down about 1% today. Not sure if it's a good or a bad thing. We'll just have to wait and see. Guessing is always very difficult to try to ascertain anything. We do have a lower high from yesterday and a lower low from yesterday. So not an outside day, which would be better, but we don't get one. Here was our last outside day that actually ended up lower. I don't think we had any more outside days since then. So pretty good price gains. However, let's take a look at some pre-market movers. Looks like the euro popped, silver popped, gold popped. All up about 0.5%. Sonos is up 18%. Interesting. Sonos up to 1670. Well, that could be interesting. Thought I heard something about Sonos going public. You've got CDLX, PCG. I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole, although it is up 47%. Wow, what's it? 26.16. So, still below the gap there. You still wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Interesting, though. EDRY. EDRY doesn't look that bad, actually. EMCI. Hello, Michael. Yeah, happy Friday, buddy. I'm ready for weekend without stocks, to be honest with you. Nvidia died after earnings. Yeah, looks they're on this pre-market movers list, down about 18%. If you guys want to follow one on two screens, I do have the list right there. If you guys want to click on that, it's the same list I'm going down. Let's look at Nvidia for 2 seconds. Yeah, not very good, down to 165, which would put it way down here. What are the earnings? Well, you'd have decelerating earnings. 205, 194, 184. Estimate was 193, so it missed as well. And pretty much in line the previous quarter, and the previous quarter actually beat, but you can see the deceleration in the actual results. So they beat there, they beat there, and they beat there. So they went to beating and they missed this quarter, which is why they went down so much. What else went down? Williams-Sonoma. Applied Materials down. And the stocks that are up, other than Sonos, which isn't even a leader in the stock market, I just know it because I have an audio-video background. No major leaders in the winning column over there. So even though yesterday looked like a pretty good day, maybe not that good. Let's take a look at. Let's keep going with the pre-market movers there. EIX, SCVL, AEZS, ADX, RIB, TRN, which I believe is a bond fund. No, they're not. Trinity Industries, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of something else. XRF, China Rapid Financial. Earnings upcoming. Don't quite have earnings yet. TXMD, HIMX, UWT. All the pre-market movers today suck. Let's look at the pre-market losers. HCM. Taking it on the chin 20% to $29, which puts it back inside the channel here. So that's no bueno. And NVIDIA, as we've noticed, LMB, been horrible. MCF, NFEC. Wow, that's been pretty volatile. Kind of working its way up, though. Down to 621. Yeah, it needs some time. I did not see the natural gas yesterday. No, I did not. Really wasn't paying attention to stocks yesterday, to be honest with you. Let me go check out FinViz. Energy. Wow, everything's up across the board. Oil's up 2%. Natural gas up 3%. Wow, yeah, that's tremendous. The VIX was up huge yesterday. VIX at 20. I don't know what nat gas futures are. I guess I'll look at them on FinViz. Let's check them out. So, okay, so a huge day. Oh, that was the, was it LNG or UNG or something? Yeah, UNG. Up 3% today so far, at least on the futures. So that would, that's interesting right there. High volume, that would be a top technically. That's a pretty good move right there from, was it 27 up to $40 in about a week. That's a good move. That could definitely cause a pause. Doesn't necessarily mean the move is completely over with yet. But that has been a pretty high level for natural gas for quite a while. Not quite mid-2000s high, but I'm not sure if there's any pure natural gas plays. But from an oil perspective, you got ExxonMobil, not Philip Morris. CHX. Chevron. I'm blanking this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Blanking on my oil names. Let's see what IBD's got to say about stuff. Futures weekend as chips retailers slide. Media giant rallies. Ultimate symbol of the futures finally coming true. Yeah. Yesterday, Shen was a winner. Oh, wow, yeah. Look at that. Look at Shen right there, guys. Bam. Beautiful. Non-stop. The only one. Everything else has stopped dead in its tracks. Except for Shen. up 18%, well past any kind of a buy point. You're waiting for some kind of a rest at this stage of the game for Shen. But it does look really good. Volume is excellent. That's really what you want to see right there. Yeah, it looks really good. Shenandoah Telecommunications. Let's go look at them again. So 98 composite rating. Better than... this is Sprint. This is a little Sprint subsidiary. Industry group rank is 1. Wow. Relative strength rating A+. High earnings. I remember that. I remember the earnings. EPS current quarter 92. Somehow they love that pre-tax margin, but that's okay. 2.3 billion. Yeah, look at that thing, man, just rocking. Making new highs on the relative strength line before the actual stock makes new highs is always a good thing. I've never seen it in anything other than a market correction, so yeah, Shen looks pretty good. It needs a pullback, though. This thing gets a pullback. Could be a good buy. Definitely could be a good buy. All right, let's go to the futures here. Let's kind of check out what some of the other commodities are doing. Get you out of my life here. Video advertisement. US dollar pulling in is good. We need the dollar to pull in a little bit. So euro going up a little bit. These are all against the dollar, so Great British Pound down at 128, not too bad. Not too bad. Soybeans, what are you doing over the past couple months? Soybeans. Corn. Palladium, there's an interesting chart. Look at that. Coffee with a very interesting, pretty large bull flag with increasing volume. Not sure I quite like that so much. Lumber, sugar. 5-year, so bonds, 10-year, 30-year. Natural gas, heating oil. Yeah, no wonder a couple percentage points we've been beaten down. Let's see what some of the other leading indexes are doing. You've got the Nikkei there. Euro stock also not looking very good. Been crashing since October 1st on the Nikkei. Euro stock since before that. And the DAX since before that. So, yeah, interesting action there in some of the other indexes. Let's take a closer look at the Nikkei. Basically got a pretty large double top situation there. Looks like it's recently found lows at about 21,000. Euro looks like it's been in a bit of a perpetual downtrend. I'm going to go out to the weekly on these. Euro stocks, cup with handle failed at this stage of the game. There's your cup. This would be your handle. Could even consider out to this your handle, but this would probably be your handle. DAX rolling over right there, and the VIX, which is a volatility indicator of the market, back up at 20. Yeah, it was sitting down here under 15 for quite some time. Getting some volatility back in the market. What if that's why my option strategy worked so well last year with the very low volatility? That would have kept options premiums down. Huh. That's something to think about. All right, hold on a second, guys. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. Justin sold his NVIDIA. Good job, Justin. Yeah, man, it's had one of the most prolific stock runs. I mean, there's like top 20. This is probably right up there with some of the most prolific stock runs for, non-micro cap stocks that did make it big. But yeah, I mean, just huge runs, like 600% in 3.5 years. It's pretty big. It's the biggest pullback it's had. NVIDIA is still going to grow over time. I'm sure everyone's aware of that. Just have to see where it's going to settle down at. And then what the prospects are at that particular time, because the market, likes different things at different times. But the massive growth that we saw with NVIDIA, just phenomenal stuff right there. All right, so the NASDAQ looks like we're down 1.1% or so, pulling up from the lows of the overnight session. These are the futures, so these have been trading overnight and not really hurting anything what they're doing right now, because kind of still in the range of yesterday, so very neutral from any standpoint, although it is down 1%. I was like in DDD last week. Yeah, that was last week. I don't like the gap. I don't like that gap down right there. So what this does, this puts in what's called an island top, which is not a bullish pattern. Right there. You see it's covered by gaps on both sides. So island tops are usually sellable. Island bottoms are usually buyable. A better company in this industry would be SSYS. But again, not really in a buyable situation. Still stuck well within a range. You see the larger symmetrical triangle going on there. Proto Labs, I believe, is the leader in this group. You can see it's been in an uptrend after consolidating for quite a while. Several years right there. Shot into a pretty big uptrend, and so far pulling back. Consolidating under the 200-day. Most industries, I think, at this stage in the game need some kind of a break. Been running for a while. The whole market's been running for a while. It just sucks to see it happen. You know it has to happen, but you get some good gains. You have to go cash and kind of let that be that, unfortunately. But yeah, Protolab, the leader in this industry. I haven't taken a deep dive into 3D printing lately to really see what's what, but just from the quick glance over through IBD's metrics and just by the charts, You can tell Proto Labs good. CIS is good. CIS, you can see over there going from 138 down to 21. Huge drop. But if this thing reverses and you get a good volume pop, it can break this consolidation. You could start a run in SSYS. DDD, though, appears to be losing market share. I say appears to be. Again, I haven't done a deep dive analysis, but 3D Systems, according to some news articles I've read, has been losing some market share, and that's probably why you're seeing the volatility. Is people still remember the name DDD from the 3D printing days, back here, 2012, 2013, but a lot of times the leaders will shift over those times, and this is one of those cases, it appears. All right, got about a minute up here, 49 seconds till the market opens. 20 seconds by the time you're hearing this. And we'll see what happens. Market's coming down a little bit, 1.25% instead of 1.1%. We'll see how that opens. See if our pre-market movers have shifted at all. I don't know how often they update that list. Oh, wow. A couple of them have actually increased a little bit, up 48, 44, and 30% our top three. PCG, CDLX, both look like hot garbage. EDRY, the best looking out of the bunch, they're up at 1450, right at the high. EDRY, let's see what they do. Just going to go to FinViz real quick. Oh, they're dry shipping. It's a dry shipping company. 23 million market cap. EPS is actually positive, which is good. PE is 49, forward PE is 9, so relatively low. And they just dropped. All right, market opened. Losers are down 5 to 4%. Winners are up, looks like 6 to 3, 2%, 6 to 2%. Some oil names up there with the oil pop overnight. You can see I'm at the top, and look at that. You're already seeing negative on my screen. So not a good open for stocks. Looks like more selling is on the books for today, at least in the opening session. Or you could take the contrarian view, but I'm not taking any view at this stage in the game. We have our follow through. I'm making sure this low doesn't break, and other than that, I'm pretty neutral on everything. I'm not going to be playing any kind of superhero here, taking positions or whatnot. Tilroy, still looking decent. WLL, Whiting Petroleum, having increased volume down here is pretty good. I would like this for some potential bottoming at some stage of the game. EOG, very similar action. See the elevated volume. Lack of price progress to the downside indicates that there's some accumulation in there. MEs, yeah, a little bit of that, I guess. Whatever that is. TZA, which is 3 times the Russell 2000. Having a pretty good run right there so far. Definitely mirroring the indexes in terms of volume. NIO. We talked about NIO the other day, looking pretty good, trying to come across, holding the low from the IPO and trying to come across a recent high. Hasn't done it quite yet. Did break the trend line though. See where my cursor's line is. It's living above that right now. We'll see if that maintains, but NIO not looking bad as a matter of fact. Let's see what IBD has to say about NIO. 38 relative strength rating. Negative 105 EPS, yeah. Yeah, I remember this one now. Lots of negatives. Oh, this is the China rival to Tesla. But it is maintaining lows, so from a technical perspective, it's doing better than most. All right. We got a lot of green on my board now down here, which is nice. Which is nice. A bunch of under 0.1%, but it is what it is. Take a victory. Market not selling off, getting back to 1.1. Probably fairly positive here. Let's see what Tesla's doing. Always interested in Tesla. Tesla looking really sharp, I will say that, from a charting perspective. Look at this. You got big volume on the way up. Nice tight area. Looks like a flag I previously had. Needs to be redrawn. I would like it a little better. Okay, looks like we're in a channel. Don't like rising channels too much, but in stocks they can break out to the upside pretty decently. I'm not sure if Tesla's going to do that until the market gets healthy again. Tesla may pull back a little bit here, but looking pretty good at about 350. Volume declined, and has done so since looks like the 29th. So about 2.5, 3 weeks now. We've had a very quiet Tesla, which is good. We don't have all this volatility, this choppy action that we've had. Kind of a little similar to that, but minus any large volume spikes. You can see right there the action has held itself pretty nicely. So that's good if we can maintain that. I like that for Tesla going forward. All right, Tilroy, Eli Lilly. What are you doing these days, Eli Lilly? Long time no see. Eli Lilly looking very nice. Look at that, just kind of maintaining that 105 is really good for Eli Lilly. That 105 is the low. That's pretty good. Also has a little bit of a range here. One, two, three, four, five. Looks like he's putting in a little flat base here. Yeah, down about 10, 12%. That's super tight. Guys, look at how volatile this market has been, and look at how tight Eli Lilly has remained. I mean, that's just tremendous. Let's check them out on the stock checkup again. It's been a minute, but I think it's worth a relook. Eli Lilly looks spectacular. 97 composite out of 99. Industry group is 26 out of 197, which is good. Earnings are pretty good. Sales is horrible. Margin's good. ROE's good. Relative strength is 94 and making new highs well before the stock does. Stock has not made new highs. Look at the relative strength line all the way up into well into new high territory. So here's an article with Eli Lilly in it. And I guess it's just there because it has a relative strength rating better than 95. Okie dokie. But regardless, looking really good right there. 2/4 of increasing fund ownership, 1.7 up down volume, B accumulation distribution. We saw this as high as 2.3 at one stage of the game. I think over here we looked at it as it was popping up. What's this one about? Migraine space. But yeah, regardless, Lilly looking, I mean, is spectacular. Just spectacular. Market selling off a little bit, almost down 1.5. We'll see what happens here. All right, what do we have in the bottom here? Restoration Hardware, Bita, Etsy, Square, Docu, Roku, Boot. Boot was looking good for a minute. Looks like that's over with. Solo down another 3%. Man, who would have thought three-wheeled cars I hate three-wheeled cars. Docu looks like a really good short at this stage of the game. I'm not usually don't do a lot of shorting, but this is a pretty blatant one if you ask me. We'll see what happens. We got earnings coming up here. Looks like in a little under a month, about 3 weeks. There's Thanksgiving in there, so I'll take a couple of days out of that. Yeah, we'll have to see right there. Cores dropping 3%. Look at that drop after it was trying to break out of that base. Rolling right over there. Etsy, turns out to be DBX that I clicked on. Etsy selling off after trying to run into highs there. Square not looking too bad down here. It's not selling off on this recent leg, so that's healthy. Volume's been declining. Volume's been declining, so that could be good. And Square, again, no major reason Square should be down. I think there's nothing fundamental to the economy, so it's taking it on the chin about 35%. Could be forming a nice cup with handle. We'll have to see here on Square. In time, obviously. Facebook still making lows, coming up to this trend line here. Looks like it wants to breeze through it without much fanfare after earnings right there. DBX, there's Docu again, BITA, TSM, Boot, and ZS not looking very good. Let's see what Twitter's doing here. Down about 1.4%. In line with the market action, which is good. See a lot of things outperforming the market. Twitter is performing with the market, which is understandable. Still looking good in its cup with handle here. Volume decelerating in the handle, which is nice even through all the selling pressure. Still waiting for this thing to turn around. And I think we'll be waiting for a number of weeks, guys, to be honest with you. We got the holidays coming up. Thanksgiving is next week, so I wouldn't anticipate any major moves in the market next week. In fact, just take the week off. Come back. What will be what? December. Just come back December 3rd, and we'll see what happens there. Yeah. Probably not going to get a whole lot of action next week with Thanksgiving coming up, and that's about it. Everyone's going to be on vacation probably, especially if you're making several $100,000 a year trading stocks professionally for J.P. Morgan. Nasdaq holding down here at 1.4, not doing too much. Kind of like that Docu trade though. Where's Docu? There you are. So Docu putting a very flat base right here, higher lows, testing a support level. Looking at it on the weekly there. Yeah, shorting it definitely could be in the cards. One of the ones that really does look like a short, a lot don't look like a great short. This looks like a pretty good short on Docu. The market turns around though, it'll prove to be not so good of a short. New making rolling over. We were noticing this level of resistance right there. Not really able to take it over. It's kind of funny. Tilroy's up towards the highs, and RRMNFF or whatever is sitting at the low down here. Two different stories, two different MJ stocks. Interesting. Actually, let's look at the SPY down there. That'd be a good thing to look at. So SPY didn't quite get down to that 15% correction. I wonder if it's waiting for that. All right, TRN, Tilroy looking good. Tilray, I guess. All right, I'm going to call it a day, guys. I'm just clicking through charts here. There's really not much happening. Today's going to be pretty much a nothing day, I think. We'll see what happens throughout the day. It's hard to call that early on, but so far, really nothing going on. No setups to really look at. No big news that we saw. MDB does look pretty good, though. I think, Eli Lilly looking so strong is a phenomenal potential stock if the market breaks up. Eli Lilly may be a leader of the move. We'll have to wait and see there, but it's always worth keeping an eye on stocks that are holding up so good. WHG still within its range. That's not bad. But yeah, so I'm going to get out of here, guys. Wow, VMware, look at that. That's pretty strong. That is pretty strong right there for VMware. That's a little different. Declining volume on the weekly here. You see right there, just very, very low volume in the past several months. That could be extremely interesting in VMware. Whoops. Okay. I'm going to finish this little thing here. I'm going to bounce. Tesla back in the positive already, guys. I'm telling you, man, Tesla's maybe going into rocket ship mode based on all that. If they can get over that right there, maybe on a good run on Tesla, finally breaking out from some of the highs. It's funny what happens when a company that everyone hates gets profitable. And market actually bouncing right here. What can I say? I'm intrigued by blinking lights. There's Eli Lilly again. So what I'm doing here, I'm kind of marking some of the ones that I like the best. Tesla obviously looks great. ADS, ABBV. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Trip not looking bad. All right, guys, have a good weekend. Yeah, that's about it. If things start looking good, you mentioned talking about, TQQQ. That's always a great thing to go along, be able to hold for a little bit through some chop, and then into new highs. You've got pretty good positions. So, all right, guys. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye. See you on Monday.